Guys, this is just one fucked up manga right here. Going straight into it though. The glasses are off. We're talking seriously here. And I'm going to be getting straight on to Smokin’ Parade Chapter 1. Because I need to let people know about this crazy chapter. I definitely want to spread some love about the series. Because do you know why? Do you want to know why I'm talking about this thing? It's done by the same manga that did Deadman Wonderland. And people know, I talked about like the last couple of Deadman Wonderland chapters. I like caught up in like a big blazing glory, and it's like just Deadman Wonderland, just they had just insane. Ending was a little bit weird, and I would say like I kind of would have preferred if it stayed at the prison at the end, but beside the point, that's not really getting into manga. But she was done by that, and it was a very dark, like shonen story, surprisingly shonen, and this as well, shonen as well. I believe it's in the same magazine it was with Deadman Wonderland, but holy fuck, this series is very fucked up, and I'll get straight into it. So we get to see from the start of the story, like going straight into it, that we see like what exactly the sort of the threat that we're going to be dealing with unknown. I believe it was said later in the chapter they were known as like a Spider Infinity 8, like Infinity, like it was a very weird name, and that there's a group that deals with these people known as the Jackalopes, and I gotta say, these motherfuckers look pretty badass. They seem to have like artificial kind of like ligaments that like transform into weapons, and it was like very, and when we get to see our actual main character, who is like Kakujo Yuko, who is his 15th birthday today, and he seems like he has a very weird sort of like rules he follows, like, oh yeah, people who don't like, you know, follow the Kakujo like name like that gets punched in the fucking face like that. It's just like, it's like some weird thing, and it's like, and you get to see like his older sister's doing like a birthday for him, a little surprise, and finds out that this thing in this world known as the Ame no Tore, or the Rain of Birds, which they do like transplants like immediately for any organs of the human body, and they do in like a fast rate, and like his sister for the longest didn't have any legs, and she finally got them, and this kind of what led into the very fucked up thing that went later on, because we see like, you know, they had a very special bond, like they had no parents, you know, he works all the time as well to pay around the house, and she wants to do something like you know, make some like cake and stuff like that, like for her birthday, and like, you know, treat him real special, and it's like, and he's there with her friends. It's like when you answer the door, that's when things get fucked up. And when we see like he goes straight back home, he gets immediately knocked out and has a strange dream, and it seems like his mother strangling him as a child, completely covered in blood, calling him a monster. And I'm like, what is this? What? And then we see the fucking, like, the older sister there, like, cooking food, and like, oh, you're waiting these now? Like, oh, I guess, like, what we got here? It's like, oh, yeah, can't you get your hands? And find out that both his fucking hands are being cut off, and one of his legs, and this fucked up bitch killed her other two friends, stabbed the fucking delivery man's eye out, and saying like, oh, I used your fingers and toes as candles, it's like really fun, like, and find out that she's got this fucked rabbit head on, she's transforming, and it's like, and it's that she's actually one of these beasts, like the little spiders, and he's just there like screaming in agony, just wondering what this is, and it's like, what the fuck is this? And strangely enough, it's like, he never actually screamed for help or anything. He was just like, just confused and baffled, like, what's going on. And then when we finally got to see Jackalope intervene and like try and take on this monster, he was like, please stop, that's my sister, you can't keep like doing that. And he's like, once you turn into one of these monsters, there's no turning back, not at all. We're ending this thing. And that just, I've got to say, I really like the main guy, like that badass motherfucker with like the hand cannon like that, and he's smoking, he's like taking like blades like they're nothing. I've got to say, he really reminds me of the guy with the eye patch from Deadman Wonderland. It's like the sort of same design. I honestly, so far from what we've seen, they look very cool character designs, and they look really like a badass kind of group of like, yeah, we're monsters of justice. And he's like, it's just saying, remember that you monsters, that's my sister. And it's just like, literally, he goes, as they're trying to finish off, he literally jumps in the way with his like only foot and takes the hand cannon and say, no man, that you fucking monsters, that's my sister, like that. And he takes the blast. He's like, yeah, I couldn't say that. And actually seeing that her sanity started to like retrieve from her, saying like, oh, thank you, like, brother, and all that, I'll always love you. and we see that the gears are turning, and it's like, and it seems from the color page, it seems like he's gonna get like sort of like an artificial like gear white arm, and it seems like that really revolves around it. It's like, because it feels very like with their weapons, like from what it feels like. And the guy, he's just there smoking, and he's just like, yeah, I like you, red-haired kid. Like, you seem crazy like that. What's your name? And he just spits like the cigarette out in his face. He's like, that's Kakajo, like that. And he's just saying, this is the day that, you know, like my life ended. Because I lost my sister, I lost my family, and also as well, I'm dying. So, very interesting chapter. I've got to say, it was very fucked up, and it's like, honestly, from how it's shown from like the color page, it seems like, yeah, you get this arm. Maybe he might get another like prosthetic as well, because through like both his hands, not to mention as well his legs. So he's like on some like fucked like Edward Elric kind of shit like that, got like a metal arm and like holding like the arm. So it makes me wonder, like, it seems like the powers, because like it's only 0.2% that people will turn into these monsters by using these transplants. So it seems like these characters are using the transplant as well. But it's like, really, what kind of fucked up world is this that, you know, stuff like that will happen? So I'm very curious to find out more about it. And yeah, as far as I know, it's like only one chapter out at the moment, because from what I said, it was like, yeah, it's going to be continuing in the November issue, which we will pretty much getting next month. Pretty much, like, I don't know if it's like, it's just happened to be like, oh, we're going to wait an extra month to get this chapter, because it was a long chapter. It was about like 70 or 80 pages worth of like material, and it was crazy. Art, absolutely fantastic. She knows how to draw, and it's absolutely amazing. Honestly, it's hard to believe that it's shonen, and you know, we have got some real like fucked up stuff like that. Like Akami's like considered shonen, not to mention as well Attack on Titan. They can be very grotesque with how they want to do things, and it's like, honestly, it was a fantastic chapter. Like, definitely got you engrossed and made sure that you was paying attention. And honestly, I can't wait to talk about more of it. I would like to talk about it like more, like a lot, because I never really got that chance to like really get super invested with Deadman Wonderland. I had like, let's say like 5 chapters or so, and I really wanted to talk more about it. So yeah, I'll definitely be talking about this new one, Smokin Parade, and I'd definitely say this is a must like read chapter 1 and see if it interests you at all to see more of the series. But that's all from me, so thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.